Hey guys, Chad here with the Soccer Mom Off-Road channel, and it's been a while since I've been out on a solo trip. This is going to be what I'm calling a micro overland trip, where I'm going to be out for less than 24 hours. It's a quick trip. I'm going up to an area called the Rim. It's an area between Old Station, California and Susanville, California. On this trip, I am hunting some old ranch homestead ruins that I've seen on older maps, and I've got it marked on Gaia as a waypoint, and it's kind of been torturing me for a while now, for a couple years. Tried to do some research in terms of online history and find out anything I can about this, and so I'm hoping to find at least some remnants. There is an old homestead right near this area that I'm going to drive past that I've been to several times, and I'll stop by and show you guys that. But that's really what this is. But I am moving. It's about 2 o'clock and sundown is 4:45. So I don't have a lot of time. I'll have maybe 2 hours of exploration time. So I'm gonna get out there, explore a little bit. Then I gotta find a spot to camp, which I'll probably do in the dark, and just enjoy sitting by the fire and having some dinner tonight. And then I will be packing up early. I'll get up, have some coffee, and then roll out tomorrow. So I'm excited to get up for another quick trip, a micro overland trip, and I'm excited to have you guys along with me. Thanks for coming. All right, guys, this is the site of the old Ward Ranch. And like I said, it's not on any newer Forest Service maps. It's on older stuff. And so we're going to go over here, and we've got about an hour of daylight, probably about 35, 40 minutes of sunlight, and then with, light, residual light. But we're going to poke around and spend about an hour seeing if we can find the remnants of this old ranch site. And this little creek here, it's so cold that the edges are frozen over, which is a good thing because it allows me to jump over it without getting buried in boggy, marshy mud. So anyway, let's go check this thing out. So apparently this ranch was in existence in the late 1800s. And if my research is correct, what little I was able to find, there was a giant sheep farm in the Red Bluff area, and they would drive their sheep up here in the spring and summer to graze. And so it was like 10,000 sheep or more, a lot. So anyhow, I don't know when the ranch sold or what, but we're just gonna look for any sign out here, any metal can dump, any trees that looked like they were cut a long time ago, or hey guys, I'm not sure if this was just like a corner post for a fence or what, but this is definitely cut timber here. So got an old nail in here. It's a newer nail, but let's see. What have you been doing? Hey, come here. Hey, what are you doing? Being dumb, huh? All right, guys, here we go. We got an old can. Somebody's been target practicing on this can. Oh, we got some words here. Calamay baking powder. Absolutely pure. Nice. That is a sweet find. We'll just leave that right there. Another little bucket of some kind. So that tells me that we are on the right track. Let's keep looking. Here we go. We've got some old. Now this doesn't look like any kind of house structure because the wood isn't milled. Well, some of it looks a little milled. Some of it does look a little bit milled, but really rough. But it's in this big circular pattern here. Goes over here. And what I'm thinking is this might have been a little corral or something. Check this out. We got this pile of rocks here, which piles of rocks like this don't happen naturally in anywhere. And we've got a nice little can dump here. That corral that I was looking at is just over this way. And it doesn't, you know, oh, okay. I didn't see the rest of this can dump. I don't think you guys can see it in this light, but this is significant. So we are close to wherever the little residence, little summer cabin might have been when they were grazing their sheep up here. So we're gonna keep looking. Another huge can dump. Rather, yeah, I mean, we got some interesting stuff this way. No idea how old this is. Ball, perfect mason. Check this out, guys. We've got a bunch of old fence posts that I know that doesn't look like much here in the camera, but there's some old fence posts that they never used. And we've got, I've seen a couple of these now, an old roll of barbed wire that they set down and never picked back up again. Like I said, I've got stuff to do tomorrow, so I could get up really early and come back. But I really would love to find it. I just feel like there's got to be an old sheep herder's cabin or rancher's cabin up here. Sit. Yeah, good boy. Are you muddy? Are you filthy? You're feeling spunky. You've been running nonstop this entire time. How do you have any energy? All right, let's go. Yep, there he goes. Got these metal straps in the trees here. The trees growing around it. This old growth juniper here. Look at this strap. Well, guys, I'm gonna give up. I found so many artifacts out here, so many different things, cans and obviously cut boards, rocks that have been moved. There was a lot of activity in this site. I just can't seem to recreate in my mind the layout of this place and what was going on here. It's driving me nuts. All right, guys, we have arrived at our camp for the night, and I wish I could show it to you, but I'll do a morning reveal, and you get to see we're on a beautiful flat prairie here, and it's going to be gorgeous in the morning. But it's freezing. It's freezing. So I'm going to do two things right away. One, I'm going to get some water going for dinner and get that heating up so that we can then do our mystery food. And it is a mystery food tonight. I do not know what it is. It's a frozen bag of something. And then immediately I'm going to process some firewood. I want to fire real bad. So we're going to get those things going before we do anything else at camp. All right, so that little fire starter will do the trick with this wood. I don't even need to cut kindling or use pine needles. That'll get this wood going. This is nice dry pine, and it'll get going real fast. And in the meantime, I'll grab the saw. We'll go process some more firewood because we're going to need a lot more tonight. It's cold. All right, guys, I'm using this DeWalt 60 volt max chainsaw. It's a 16-inch bar. This is a great little saw, perfect for lemon stuff at home and also for camping, overlanding. This will cut trees out of the road, and it will easily process firewood. All right, we'll take that back, process that at camp. It hasn't rained or snowed a lot. There is snow up here. It hasn't rained or snowed a lot yet, but any of the logs, trees, branches that I found on the ground are already saturated with water, so we don't want that. This is off the ground, so it's going to be dry, perfect to burn. Again, we're going to cut just a big section and drag it back to camp. Feels a little rotten. Feels a little rotten on the outside, but the core is still good. All right, guys, this one is perfect. It looks like it's setting on the ground, but actually it's barely, these branches have suspended it. It's about 3 inches off the ground, the whole thing. So this is going to be perfect. Oh yeah. I think that's good for the night, all that I've cut so far. So I'm going to start dragging these pieces back to camp, and then we'll cut them up into burn barrel size pieces right around the fire. All right, guys, time for some mystery food. When I cook for my family, I will pull a portion out and freeze it in these little bags. And I freeze it specifically for trips like this because I can fill this up with water, get it boiling, put this in, and let it reheat while I'm doing other camp stuff. And like right now, while I'm processing firewood, this is a perfect way to cook dinner. 2 birds with 1 stone. So we just pop this in here. I'll let that get back up to a nice boil, and then I'll turn it down and just let it slowly heat up. Probably take about 15-20 minutes. Should be good. Maybe 30 minutes. It was really frozen. Guys, this burn barrel is amazing. This is radiating heat incredibly. Like my hand is so hot right here. And this is great. The dog got into a lot of water. And so his underside and hindquarters are frozen. Like literally. So I've got him as close as he wants to be by the fire. And he was shivering before, and now I've got a little blanket on him, and he's settled down a bit, and seems to be a little more cozy than he was before. But this is so nice. All right, guys, time to discover what the mystery food is. Put a couple Rice Krispie treats in here. They were hard as a rock. This looks like some kind of chicken pasta thingy. Oh my word. Oh, oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh. Yes, it's some kind of, I don't even remember making this, but it's some chicken pasta deliciousness, which is perfect for tonight. All right, let's go eat. Oh. Oh, so I'm a little bit bummed that we couldn't find any kind of remnants of a little cabin or some kind of homestead, some kind of structure. Lots of evidence of activity out there at the Ward Ranch. About eight miles southwest of here on private land is a site called Cone and Ward Ranch. That may have been the main headquarters up here for the grazing season. And this may have been an auxiliary, a grazing pasture up here that they would break off several head. I don't know, are you saying head of sheep? I don't know. I don't know a lot about sheep, but maybe broke those herds up and brought a group up here. And so they had a smaller secondary location up here. I'd like to have more time out there to dig around. Obviously, you know, with the size of those can dumps and all of the pieces of metal trash that are out there, there was a lot of activity there. So I just really have the feeling that there might be some kind of structure, but maybe another time we'll come back and take a peek. It was still really cool finding that. All that I did find, though, evidence of activity there. Man, guys, I just got to say, this burn barrel has been perfect. And it's great because I can put one piece in at a time, and it just burns so hot. You can put a grate over the top. You could cook on it, let the fire burn down till it's nice hot coals. You could cook over the top of it. It's really a perfect size, and it really fits into the GX nicely. It takes up hardly any room. So thanks, Dad, for making this for me. It's been awesome.
there.
Oh man, guys, we are tucked into the rig and got the buddy heater going down there in the back seat, giving us a little bit of warmth before we shut it off. I'm gonna tell you what, it was getting so cold out there as I was kind of tearing down camp, getting stuff away for the night. I stepped away from the fire and kind of let it burn down, and when I say it's freezing, it's 15 degrees outside. It is cold. It is so cold. And my hands were starting to not work right, and my brain was starting to not work right. So it is frigid outside. Lorenzo's here. I got a little blanket on him, and he was shivering a bit outside. So hopefully here in the GX will be nice and toasty, or at least not freezing. So we're gonna shut things down and try to get some sleep. So we'll see you guys in the morning for coffee. Well, good morning, guys. It was cold last night. In fact, I don't know how cold it got because my Bluetooth thermometer, which has a full battery, stopped working below 15.1. So, yeah, I have no idea. But 15 is quite cold. So, anyway, we survived the night. And now it's time to get up and get a fire and get some coffee. So we'll get dressed, show you that morning reveal, and get some coffee and get the morning going. I have another spot I want to explore really briefly, so we'll check it out. You ready, bud? You ready? What do you think? Want to go see it? Come on. Well, guys, no fire this morning. It is so cold, and I don't have a lot of time. It's already after 8, and I wanted to start heading back to pavement at 9. So the fire would have just required me to build it, let it build up, and then to try to get that burn barrel to cool down, and I just didn't want to mess with it. So I've got the buddy heater. This is my fire this morning, keeping my hands warm. But it is freezing. Any drops of water that have spilled within a minute or two are frozen solid. I've got some frozen water in my jacket here. And if I was going to stay and enjoy the morning, definitely a nice roaring fire. But because I want to check out another couple sites we're gonna pack up really quick and get on the trail. All right, gang, that's a wrap. We're gonna head off across this flat through these trees over here and see there was a structure on an old map, probably an old little cabin at one time out here, and we're gonna see if we can find it or the ruins of it. All right, let's get to it. Well, guys, this was a bust. There was just nothing at all. Sometimes the old maps, locations on the old maps don't correspond super accurately with the new maps. And so if I had more time to walk around and survey, I might be able to find something, but I don't have time. I got to get home. But before we do, I'll take you guys by this old homestead that's actually still standing, or at least part of it. There's an old log cabin that's fallen apart, but it's still there, and then a newer structure. So we'll go check that out, and then we'll head home. All right, we got the remains of this old cabin. This is probably the root cellar down here. But I wanted to show you guys. I got this old stove here. And really cool. I'm not going to take you inside because of time, but I've got this more modern bunkhouse, sheep herder's cabin, rancher's cabin. Got some old mattresses in here. Certainly an old building, but not that old. And now it's time to head home. All right, guys, well, that is a wrap. It's been a really quick, really fun trip, really cold trip, 15 degrees. I think it got colder than that, and I think my little thermometer, Bluetooth thermometer, just gave out. But I am actually a little bit late, so I have got to get moving. Really appreciate you guys coming along. And until next time, we'll see you again on the trail and adventure on.